Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is the first episode of Season 5 of Let's Play the Stalker. We are about to hit level 40, and I decided rather than trying to do some sort of a really short season finale for Season 4, I'll just let the last really cool ending of the story arc with Cray be season finale for Season 4. And now we're starting our 5th season. And I'm in Peregrine Island, and I've just been doing street hunting because I just figured it'd be easier than trying to do a mission. All of our story arcs are done for level 30 to 30, 35 to 39. So we are now level 40, and we will go to the trainer after this and pick our slots. I figured you guys might want to see that. And now we're going to get all of our Peregrine Island contacts set up. They'll all appear in that queue as soon as we're done getting trained. Now I gotta remember where the trainer is in Peregrine Island. And the trainer is over there. It's Castle. So this is Peregrine Island. This zone was added when they added the level 41 to 50 content. In issue 1 or 2, whatever that was. Oh, and by the way, there is a false nemesis. Fake nemesis. Like a Doom bot. Anyway, most of your missions in Peregrine Island actually come from this area we're about to go to. This area is the Portal Corporation campus, where all of the portals to other Earths and alternate realities are located. And there's our trainer, Castle. Train up to a new level. And we are now level 40, so we get 3 slots. So I'm going to finish integration. That's done. And we're going to add one to Slash. And it turns out that when we finished that last story arc, we got a damage enhancer. We got a badge for getting to level 40. So I'm going to go ahead and put a damage on here. So now instead of doing 67, we do 87 per shot. And now that we are this level, we should have contacts for Peregrine Island, and Tina McIntyre is the first person we're going to work. She is a representative of Portal Corp. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to be getting into the really long outdoor missions and things like that. So I may end up cutting, pausing some of these missions and only showing the highlights, like when we fight the bosses or click on the glowies or whatever. I don't think most people are going to want to watch me do a 45-minute gigantic mega outdoor boomtown mission just to find 2 bosses. So I'm going to probably cut around a lot of this stuff and have it be, it's not going to be every single minute of the character the way we've done for the first, almost completely done for the first 40 levels. I assume people won't have a problem with that. If you do, leave a comment, and we'll see if I can make some changes. But in any case, we are talking to Tina. And she says she's convinced that the dimensional portals will be an important part of the future. They're certainly going to be a part of this character's future because that's what you do in the higher levels in City of Heroes. Okay, so this is pretty cool. This is going to be challenging because clockworks are resistant to claws, right? Because they have lethal resistance. The Clockwork King's psychic signal. So this is the psychic Clockwork King, I believe. I hope you're ready for the many challenges of Portal Corporation. Why, just last week we had to beat off an attack by winged monkeys. Ha ha ha, I'm kidding. So that's a reference to Wizard of Oz. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, it's a big wide multiverse, and it's not for the faint of heart. For your first mission, I'd like you to go to the dimension we've designated Epsilon Tau 272. So ET 272. We've detected a very strong psychic signal there. I don't know. We're not already on a story arc for her, it looks like. But it might be. Sometimes when you get the story arc, it only tells you at the end. So now you go into Portal Corp, right? And the way this works, if you haven't seen this before, is you go through, well, we got a badge for walking over some spot. That's an Explorer badge. You go to one of these 2 rooms. So on both sides, they have these really awesome dimensional portals. These are super cool. And your mission is going to be in one of them. And if you look at Portal Corp, there's actually, it doesn't show it on the map, but there's actually portals here, here, and here. So there's like 3 pairs of portal rooms, and which one you're going through I think is just random. Alright, so we're going through our first, we've been on alternate Earths before, but this is our first one working for Tina McIntyre. And what we want to do is find the source of the psychic energy and defeat the psychic Clockwork King. So I know where he is. This should be a level 42 mission, okay. So it's +2 mission. So I know where he is, so we're going to go find him. So this is a huge giant map, but usually the psychic Clockwork King is back here. And that's him. So he's level 42 elite boss. I should have filled up on inspirations here. We got another row and I didn't even notice. I am probably not going to be able to pull those guys. There's nobody on this side that I have to worry about, but I'm a little concerned about these guys being close, so I'm going to take these guys out. Fortunately, the clockworks themselves are not too difficult. These are not regular clockworks, though they do psionic damage, which we don't have a lot of resistance towards. And that's unfortunate. So what I'm probably going to have to do here is what I've been doing, which is go after the minions. I don't think we're going to be able to pull these guys. So we'll probably have to go after the minions. And then, look how cool this guy is. One of the things I like about a Stalker is we can just walk up to them and they can't see you. He's really this brain floating in here and these two little eyes. This guy's awesome. Should we see if we can pull? I mean, it doesn't hurt to do it. Let's go ahead and get this going. Try a pull. Okay, good. Those guys are not tied to him, it looks like, so I was able to do that. And this will help us because we don't want to have to deal with 5 minions while we're fighting the king. We're definitely going to want instant healing here. We got him. So it's just 1 minion. Alright, so I'm going to do what I usually do. Take the minion out. And then placate Clockwork King. Wow. That is some serious damage. We're going to need these guys. And probably 2 hit and damage buff. And then we're going to go at him. Oh, I can't believe I missed him. That stinks. I keep a really close eye on our health bar. Man, we're doing nothing to this guy. It's going to be a tough fight. Instant healing will probably save us. We do have Moment of Glory. Placate. Wow, he didn't stay placated for long. Probably he has some kind of resistance to it because he's psionic. Look at this, he's not hitting me, so that's good. Oh, he's doing something bad. So that's some sort of a debuff. Look at this, we're kicking his butt, guys. He hit me all that, like for that very first hit, did all this damage to me. And then instant healing is just saved me the rest of the time. Okay, so IH is down. But we got him. Mission complete. He's not going to send up any little guys. And we got a badge. The Emancipator badge. And we can head out. Yeah, so knowing where they are, that is usually on the Boomtown map. On that Boomtown map, that area in the back, in the north, toward the back of the map, is usually where the bosses and stuff are. Now, if there are glowies, they're everywhere, but if you're looking for one particular boss, that's usually where you find them. So that's an example of a Portal Corp mission. Portal Corporation. And we'll see if Tina allows us to shop from her. If so, I think we're going to keep... What is going on here? Why can't I click this? Something's weird. That is very strange. That's really weird. Okay, introduced to a new contact, Angus McQueen. And then she's got a store, so let's go ahead and... oh, you can actually sell recipes to her? And salvage, I didn't realize that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get... 4 endurance. Oh, I see what happened. Because I clicked on it as I was coming through the door, it must have actually engaged, but not gotten disappeared from the bar. We're going to end up with 8. Oh, I got too many of them. And then we'll do 4 damage. And 4 luck. And we'll try running with this combo. We have not needed heal inspirations for an entire level for this character, I think. And we should be able to do pretty well. I think, gosh, with 8 of these, we might almost be ready to fight +3 and +4s. But let's hold off on that and see how we do with Tina's missions. I don't think we do not yet have a story arc from her. Oh, but now we do. So this is what I was saying, and this must have been stuff that they added later. The Antimatter Collision Part 1, that tells you it's a story arc, right? So now you know if I take this mission, we're going to be on the Antimatter Collision story arc. I like knowing that. So she's got a weird scanner activity from one of the labs. The techs are not answering over the intercom, and the dimensional instability is off the charts. I don't want to believe the scanner readings are real, so I want eyeballs on the situation. So go and defeat the raid leader and its crew. So now this is just going to be a lab here in Peregrine Island. Look at that, level 49. No, we can't fight him. That is a level +9. He would kill me in one shot. And he would have huge buffs to hit. He would have he'd be like ceiling to hit me. 95% chance to hit. 1,000 damage. Okay, so defeat the raid leader and his crew. 4 network nodes to secure. Rescue the technician and defeat the raid leader. With this tray of inspirations and all of our powers looking good, we should be fine. We're not going to buy heals for this because it's level 40. They're white already, so we're not going to buy them. If I happen to find ones, I will slot them in. But I think it's unlikely that I will find any because these guys are going to be tech. So these are repair bots. So these look like Antimatter Clockwork. So these guys are from Pretoria. Haven't seen you in a while. What are you doing back here? Yeah, I couldn't do that the last time you encountered me, but I am much more powerful now. He saw me? I thought I was hidden. I guess not. So we will do this story arc, guys. The way we're going to work this, we're going to do this story arc to lead into Season 5. And then when this story arc's over, we'll be level 40.3 or 4 or something. Then I'm not going to do any more recording until we get to 41. We'll do our power. I'll do like the level up with you. We'll do our power picks, and then we'll do another story arc that will be the level 41 story arc, and that's how we'll do it. So that'll give us 10 more story arcs with this character before level 50, and then a bunch of level 50 content because we're going to do all the incarnate stuff. And that is nice. So there is an elevator here, but we still have to find the nodes, rescue the technician, and defeat the raid leader. So we've got a bunch more stuff to do. It's odd that they're just lieutenants by themselves. Usually a lieutenant has a minion with them. But these are just lieutenants by themselves standing here. Why? guess they're on guard. I'm assuming this is a defeat all, probably. Maybe not. Since it's raid leader and crew. Do you guys recognize me? I was on the other world with you. No? Say hi to Evil Statesman for me, Emperor Cole. Alright, so we've done everything we can in this section. We're going to go down to the next level, or up to the next level. So guys, as you know, I've been working on Dungeons & Dragons. I was originally going to be a player, and then I volunteered to DM because the person who was originally going to DM had some family issues, and he couldn't really keep it up. Unfortunately, he started playing with us, but unfortunately the last couple sessions he hasn't been able to even play with us either, which is very disappointing because he's a lot of fun, and he's a super nice guy, and I actually put some stuff into the adventure for him that I thought he would particularly enjoy, and then he wasn't there. I mean, he enjoyed like hearing about it from me, but of course he didn't get to actually play it, which is unfortunate. I actually recorded our third play session. We use Google Hangouts, and since I'm so used to OBS, I was able to get a recording to work on OBS, where we had the map on part of OBS, and then so like the map was on the main screen of OBS, and then up here in a little window was Google Hangouts, so that he could see us. And so I recorded it, I posted it to my YouTube channel, and not this one, but my personal one. And I don't know if he's watched it. I made it private, right? And then I gave the link to everybody on the game group and said, if you guys want to watch it, you can. I can't imagine anyone would want to sit there and watch 3 hours and a half of what we've already played. But I thought he might want to see it because he didn't get to play with us. And, you know, he's in a very difficult situation where he simply can't. He has 2 little children, and because his wife is sick, and, you know, it's like a Saturday night. They have a nanny, but the nanny only works during the day. His wife doesn't feel well, so she can't really, you know, take care of the kids. And so he has to be Mr. Mom pretty much the whole time when the nanny's not there, and the nanny doesn't work Saturday night. So I don't know if he's going to be able to play with us for a while, which is really disappointing. But anyway, I've been the DM, and I've been. I heard a glowy. Must be above us. I've been the DM, and I've been working on stuff, and you know they did like they basically finished the first adventure, and I've got the second and third adventures already planned out. And the third adventure, I think, is going to lead them into a fourth adventure. So the idea here is that there are the first adventure is fighting some undead. They did that. The second adventure is goblins are kidnapping people. They're going to save those goblins, and they're going to find out that the goblins are actually under orders from the governor of the mayor of the town, who's also a wealthy patrician and trying to run the farmers off their farms by scaring them off, which is pretty, of course, despicable. And it wasn't actually how I had originally planned it. It was just going to be the goblins are working for some orcs. And the orcs, the only reason there are any orcs in this at all, because I wasn't really planning to have a lot of orcs as villains in this campaign, is because this guy who's now maybe not going to play with us, I don't know, we're using his character as an NPC right now. His character, his family was killed by an orc chieftain and the tribe, and so he has this vendetta against the orc chieftain. He doesn't actually know the name of the tribe. I have created the name. They're the Orcs of the Severed Hand. It's based on some miniatures that came out from Dragon Lords, back in like the 70s. And I just think the Orcs of the Severed Hand sounds really cool, so the tribe is the Severed Hand. And so what's going to happen is the Severed Hand Orcs have taken over a Roman guard tower that guards the highway. And The Romans are going to ask if they can, since they've already helped with the goblins and the undead, can you go clean out this tower for us? And assuming they do that, one of the things that they're going to find is, or supposed to find, assuming that this guy plays with us, is one of his, and we've secured a network node here, one of his friends from the past is going to be one of the prisoners in the Orc Tower. And his friend is like a scout for the, was a former scout for the army. And after they parted ways, what his friend did was he went looking for the evil orcs who had killed the player character's family. And where the heck am I going here? I feel like I'm missing something. Where did I come from? There. So he's going to say, I know where they are, right? And the idea is that he's going to give them the location of the Orc clan homestead or fortress. It's called Fort Gorefist, Bloody Fist, i.e. severed hand, right? He knows where it is. He's found it. It's in the hills to the north, and here's the location. Excuse me. Now, all this player gave me in his background was that his dwarven family had their homestead destroyed and everybody but him killed by these orcs, and the leader's name is Farzuk or something. And so he wants revenge, and he wants to rebuild his homestead. So as I was working on this, and where he was from, the Ore Dwarves of the mountains near what we would call Spain, as I was trying to work things out, I said, well, orcs are miners, the Ore Dwarves are miners and stuff, and we're going to need to pull here. So let's start this way. And so, one of the really important metals in D&D is copied from J.R.R. Tolkien. It's called mithril. J.R.R. Tolkien spells it T-H-R-I-L, and D&D spells it T-H-R-A-L, but it's the same basic idea. It's a really hard, very valuable, very beautiful metal. So, so what I said was, okay, how about if your family had a mithril mine and they were miners of mithril? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. And the Romans buy mithril from the dwarves, right? And so what's been happening is that the orcs, the reason the orcs have this tower is they've taken it over so they can take the commerce that's coming over the highway, including the mithril that the dwarves are transporting to the Romans. So the Romans order a shipment of mithril, it goes in, and then this Farzuk is taking it, right? And I thought, okay, what's his motivation? He wants to be rich, right? So he's trying to get gold and mithril and so forth. So then so that's pretty much where I was. He's just an orc that wants to get rich, and he killed off this guy's family because they had the money and the mithril, and he wanted it, right? And he destroyed their home, took the mithril, and then left. And our character now, the player character, wants to get revenge. And that's fine, that works as a potential motivation. But then I had to make up the orc steading, their stronghold, right? Their homestead. So I wrote out, okay, they have a common room and a room for the warriors, like barracks, and they have a chieftain's room and a treasure room and a storage room and so forth. And I said, all right, I want to give them mounts. In Lord of the Rings, they ride wargs, W-A-R-G-S. In D&D, goblins ride wargs, W-O-R-G-S. But wargs as mounts are a little small physically for orcs. Goblins can ride them, but orcs can ride them, but I felt like I want something different. So somebody on the D&D forums was like, hey, how about like dire boars? I'm like, now that is cool. They don't have dire boars really in D&D, but they have something similar called giant boars, and I just sort of modded them. Okay, so they actually ride these wild, vicious boars with tusks that will gore you, which is pretty awesome. So there's going to be like boar breeding pens, And then I said, okay, they're going to be slave pens. And initially, I was assuming, human slaves. Maybe goblins, that sort of thing. But then as I was thinking about it, I said, well, this is going to be a huge number of orcs, right? It's a tribal holding. It's going to be like a couple hundred orcs in here. A party of 4 is not going to be able to easily just go in there and fight all of these orcs. So I thought, okay, how am I going to want to do this, right, to make it reasonable? And as I thought about it, I said, well, what if and then I was reading this thing, and I've mentioned it before, that somebody was talking about, for a totally different reason, that his players were in a bandit lair, and they had this demon, and they had convinced the demon to work for them, and it was helping them, and then they betrayed it, right? But I thought, what if I do something like that? What if the slave or slaves is not humans that are basically helpless, but is something monstrous that could help them? And there is the boss. Is that the technician? No. We still need to find the other stuff. Let's come back to the boss. So, and I hear a glowy. So I thought, my first thought actually was that maybe at the entrance, whoops, I hit the wrong thing. At the entrance to this lair, there would be, say, a cyclops or a hill giant or something like that. I ended up thinking cyclops, and that it's basically being controlled by the orcs. It works for them, but it actually kind of hates them. And if the players are clever, they might be able to convince the Cyclops to work for them. But as I built the lair, I realized the Cyclops isn't going to be able to fit into most of the rooms and hallways because it's so big. And consequently, I don't know how much help it would be to them to get it on their side. It might be able to tell them some things, like that there's an ambush corridor and secret doors and stuff when you try to enter. And then I looked at my notes, and I had written down ogre, and then said there need to be more than one, right? Because one ogre isn't very powerful. So then I thought, what if there are a number of ogres, several ogres, who are being enslaved by the orcs? And if the players are clever and they pick up on this, they might be able to free the orc slaves, or the ogre slaves. And the ogre slaves minimally won't help the orcs, and maximally might perhaps, in gratitude, even help the players fight the orcs. Or they might be able to mind control them with, like, control monster or something to do that. And now we're going to fight Cold Fusion, who's just a boss, so we should be fine. Go ahead and hasten up, take instant healing. And as soon as build-up is ready, off we go. So I thought, okay, that sounds cool. Then I started working on the rooms. Like, I built just the map of the place and figured out which room was rich, and then I started decorating the rooms, dungeon dressing, right? Putting stuff in there on the map program. And so I had created a shrine to Dispater, who in this reality is the god of the orcs. And so I created this shrine. Where's the technician, though? Found a tip. No, we completed the mission. There must be no technician. The data drive was on one of the clockworks we defeated. It contains a list of technology that the clockwork were trying to steal. Okay. So I'm creating this shrine to Dispater, and I put an altar, a statue, some blood, some treasure. And one of the problems I'm having with this idea is that if these guys are stealing mithril is worth like 5 times as much as platinum, which is worth 10 times as much as gold. So a single bit of mithril the size of a gold piece is worth like 100. It's like worth like 500 gold. No, 50 gold. If there's like wagon loads, the evidence they're going to find is that 2 wagon loads of mithril were stolen. I'm thinking, if I do that, these players are going to end up with like 50,000 gold pieces at level 5, right? It's way too much. So what can I do? And at first I was thinking, well, I'll have the Romans hire them and say, you're going to get us back the mithril, and if you keep it for yourselves, we're going We're going to put out a bounty on your head because you're stealing mithril from the Roman Empire. But then I got another idea. As I was building this thing, there is a well. It just looks like a black circle with stones around it and a little vortex inside. And I put it on the map, and I'm like, what if that's in the temple room and it's some sort of a summoning well that summons creatures? And what the orcs need the money for is, in order to get the creature to work for you, you have to throw money down the well, and then the creature will appear and serve you for a day or something like that. And so they're throwing all this mithril down the well, and gold and silver and stuff, to get these creatures to work for them. And so now that's really cool. So as I'm building this thing, I'm coming up with some pretty cool ideas that I think are going to make for an interesting adventure, even though originally it was just a greedy orc and a bunch of his servants. Now there's going to be some demons to fight, ogres to maybe convince to be on your side, and things like that. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the Cyclops. I might. Alright, so we have completed this first thing. Get a couple of clues, and she says, "Excellent work, Tiger Shrike. You saved lives today and stopped the Praetorians from stealing the tech behind our large-scale portal generators. Unfortunately, it seems that this was a very coordinated attack. I picked up on the readings, tipping us off completely by accident. Other labs all throughout Peregrine were infiltrated far more stealthily, and other pieces of portal tech were stolen. But that's not the half of it. Check out the dimensional photon shift readings, the DPS, which of course stands for damage per second most of the time in an MMO. The DPS in and around Peregrine Island is off the charts." That is a great little joke. I have to say, I love the developers of this game. The people who wrote these missions, some of them were really clever with things like this. The DPS is off the charts on Peregrine Island because players were doing so much damage in the 40s. That is hilarious. So let's check the time here. Where are we? We're at 32 minutes, so I think we're going to stop here, guys. We will continue with this story arc. In the meantime, I don't know if I have anything to sell or craft, so in the meantime, I will keep making videos, and I'll see you next time. I am Scarpalock, and this has been City of Heroes.